Hello, my name is Elizabeth de Vries. Today is the 10th of February 2026. We've been going through a pretty rough time, and I wanted to do a short reading on where do we go from here. We're coming up in exactly 1 week from now with that powerful solar eclipse at 28 degrees Aquarius squaring Uranus. It's a very combustible solar eclipse, total solar eclipse. So we can feel in the air, we can feel the energy building, we can feel the information highway just overwhelming our hearts and minds. People are getting headaches and they're tired, and yet a part of us doesn't want to look away because you want to be aware of where we're heading and what's being fed into the highway of thoughts and feelings. One is also, you can feel people around you waking up to the falsity of absolutely every structure in the world. So whether it's the religious structures which have sought to control through rules and regulations and making an outside authority as our pathway to God, even though Christ Jesus himself said the kingdom of God is within you, or the Buddhists asked you to meditate and go within and find the lotus of your soul. And each religion in its own way has set out rules and roadways to God. But I only know from my own personal experience that I find that place, that quiet place, that gentle, sensitive, illumined place when I'm quiet, when I reflect. I wouldn't call myself a meditator. There are people I know that meditate daily and go into utter stillness. I feel my life in many ways is a walking meditation, but most of all, I would describe myself as a contemplative. I go very, very deep every day. I look into the faces and the eyes of each person that I meet, or whose video I'm watching, or client sitting across from me, or my son, or my animals. I am a contemplative. Now, where are we going from here? What's coming up over the next? Let's take it to the end of February. Let's see what this solar eclipse is bringing. What's coming up as we approach that new moon in Aquarius and the year of the fire horse. Now, when you think about the horse, you think of power, you think of freedom, you think of galloping, you think of horses love to be in a herd, so they love to have their fellow horses nuzzling close by. They have pecking orders, they have ways of protecting each other, but their real way of escape in life is through galloping away, through speed, through leaving a place. A horse will leave a ground where there will be an earthquake 2 to 5 days ahead of time if they are free. Obviously not if they're in a stall, but you will see them get very restless in a stall before an earthquake. But through the sensitivity of their nervous system, through their hooves being planted on the earth, they can feel the vibrations of the earth shifting, and they know where to go and when. So they are creatures of incredible intuition. The year of the fire horse is a powerful year. The fire horse children, the fire horse girls, decades ago or hundreds of years ago in China, they used to throw the fire horse girls off the cliffs because they were so difficult and rebellious and freedom-loving and would not surrender to the man and were wild things. I can tell you from personal experience, being a horse, I'm a water horse, that the horse, I had a daughter, Gigi, who was a fire horse. She was exactly like that. And she related, when she rode horses, to the fieriest, most irascible, difficult, uncontrollable horses. She could ride them like no one I ever saw. She just knew how to handle them. Never tried to bully them, boss them. She just went with them because they were one and the same. So what do we do right now? What do we do? What is coming up for us over this next? We'll take it to the solar eclipse, and then we'll take it to the end of the month. What's coming up over the next week? So much on our plates right now. So you must go to the core of your own being. You have this power within you, this source being within you that can survive and overcome anything. So we must hold to that knowing and encourage it in others. Let's see what I get here. The angelic presence that I'm feeling that will be guiding us over the next 2 weeks will be Michael, the Archangel. Whenever I've prayed to Michael, whenever I've called on Michael's assistance, I don't pester him incessantly. I wait for really powerful times in my life, and then I ask for help. I ask for his legions of power and protection to come forth and show me the way. And never ever has it not been that things have mightily changed. So I call forth Michael for this reading, his guidance for mankind right now. This is the card I got. This is the Fire Queen. This is the Fire Horse. A sunflower. A solar eclipse. The sun and the moon together. Yellow. Mental activity, willpower. The staff, her protection. Whenever I look at a sunflower, I'm always amazed at the miracle of the sunflower, that out of one seed is birthed 1,000 seeds in a perfect symmetrical arrangement. So I feel that sunflower is telling us that we need to be there for each other. This is a time of community. This is a time of holding each other up, encouraging each other, not falling into the fear zones, not letting what is going on outside of us defeat us. We can overcome this. I think of people like Martin Luther King. I think of Michael Jackson today, who 33 years ago did his halftime video at the Super Bowl and set a record of attendance, and his basic message was about the children. How ironic that 33 years later, if you think of the age of Jesus being 33, when I looked at him today, and I watched a whole bunch of his videos today, and I listened to him talk about his love for children and how he just wanted to protect the children because he had personally experienced an unprotected childhood, having to sing in front of millions of people as a young boy and being used as a vehicle of support for his family. His gift was evident from a very young age. And I looked at Neverland, and I thought we all need a Neverland today. We all need to look after the child within our own heart that feels wounded and frightened right now. So the sunflower, to me, when you ask little children, what's your favorite flower? Most of them will tell you the sunflower because they love big things. They love watermelons and big balloons and sunflowers, and they're happy. They're a happy flower, celebratory flower, and they grow very quickly and with a lot of, on days when this is an interesting factor about the sunflower, which I think applies to us today. The sunflower, when there's they turn, as you know, and follow the sun in the sky throughout the day. So they start turning toward the east, and they end up turning toward the west. But on the day that's cloudy, when they need the energy of the sun, they turn toward each other. They look at each other, and they support each other. And that's what we need to do right now. We need to look at the sun of our own being, our essence of being, and receive sustenance from that. Have quietness, be in nature, but see the sun of your own being. And on the days when it feels cloudy, like today is outside, support somebody else and let them support you. Give and receive. That's the first card I get. The solar eclipse itself. What card would you like to show for that? Solar eclipse on the 17th at 28 degrees of Aquarius. I got this card in my last reading. It's the Lover's card, but I also felt there was something in this card because he is clothed and she is not. There's something about the violation of the children that I'm seeing here, and I feel it's somehow going to really come to a head in a week. It's going to grow over the next week, and we're going to make some major decision over the next week. Major decision. And more truth is going to come out about the children. Calla lily is a very regal flower. I've been talking in my videos and to people I know about the loss in our society of the sacred, of honoring the sacred. I have in my home 4 different altars, not because I'm so religious, but I put things there that I hold as sacred so that when I walk throughout the house, I am reminded of honoring the sacred in myself and seeking the sacred in others and in life. Taking off my shoes in the house of another that has a different belief system, a different path, and showing reverence to what is sacred to them. The other thing that I've been talking a lot about is purity. Purity has gone out of our society. Was it ever there? I don't know. Obviously, when you look in the face of a newborn, or you pick up a puppy, or you see a foal running and bucking in a field, you feel that purity of the emotion, of the expression of that life form. When you see a flower grow, you sense the purity of its mission, that little dandelion coming up between the cracks in the cement, seeking the light of the sun. This is why I love flowers so much, because their whole life is spent seeking the light. Are we that? Are we seekers like that? Let's think about that on that day. So let's choose a card. Besides the decision, I would like to choose a card to go with the decision, and I'm asking for guidance from Michael, the Archangel. This is a card of peace and harmony. It's a card, if you look in the distance, there's a far-off castle, a fortress on a mountain. You have to enter the portal, this gateway. I feel on the 17th, a portal is going to be opened on the earth. And those that are seeking from a place of sacred, pure intention and love and wisdom and divine mercy, those people are going to enter through that portal. It feels like there's going to be a division going on our earth right now, and we're being shown the extreme example of evil. All right, we need to know what's going on. We need to look at it, but then we need to return to the true power that exists and that drives everything in the universe, and that is the power of love, the power of the creative source itself. Women understand about that creative essence, and not to violate the womb and the child that passes through that womb, because every man and every woman only arrives here through the birthing of a woman's labor. Let's think about that. And that is a portal that we provided to our children so that they could experience an earthly form. And did you know those eggs that sit within us were within us when our mother was within her mother, carrying her eggs, one of which was us. So our eggs are very old and very sacred, and they choose which sperm they unite with. So there's a sacred quality to conception, and I feel there's a new birth coming. I feel this portal that I just showed you in the cards. It is a pathway to a new life. I feel a solar eclipse squaring Uranus. There's some kind of breakthrough. It's not going to all be pleasant and sweet, but it is an opening. And on that day, I'm going to spend a lot of time as a contemplative with my soul, listening to the messages of my soul, and then trying to help others on that day. And now let's take a couple of cards to take us to the end of February. This is the card of strength. But if you look at the woman who is taming the lion, she's not doing it with brutality. She's doing it with the inner force of the essence of her womanhood. And the lion is yielding to her and looking up at her. So the strength comes from again, I have to go back to that divine feminine, to the feminine overwhelming and holding in control her own inner strength in the face. A lion can be pretty fierce and aggressive, but the female strength is carrying it through. So I feel there will be strong experiences. It feels very intensified, but it feels like we're having a new beginning on the solar eclipse. Does that mean it will happen fast and right away? I don't think so, but I do think it is a portal and a pathway with the fire horse on that day to freedom. And, you know, we need to open the gate for the horse to let it run free in the field. We can't keep it in the stall, so we need to let our own unique individual expression of freedom. We must keep our eyes on freedom, internal freedom and external expressions of action to support freedom. You see, you can't just have the thoughts and the intentions. We have to put the actions behind that. So this will be our shift, our portal to freedom with the force of woman, holding it, guiding it. It's no longer about brutality and murdering and violence. It's about freedom. Freedom for all beings. You can feel the depth of that. And I'll just end with one last card. From my heart to yours. This looks like a horrible card because it's someone lying dead on the ground with swords in them. But it's a 10. The 10 in Tarot is the end of a hard time. It's a death to a way of being. It's a child lying on the ground. And I think it's the end of a way of thinking and a way of being. And the 10 of Swords has a sense of finality about it. It's like we've had enough of wars and bloodshed and new wars and what we're doing with the children and what we're doing with ICE and what we're doing with Gaza. And I just look all over the world at the ways that we have treated children. And Jupiter is in Cancer right now. That's the year of the fire horse, is when Jupiter moves into Cancer. Jupiter is where God blesses us in our chart. So Jupiter for the world right now is in Cancer. What is Cancer? The mother. Cancer represents the nurturer. So our pathway through this year will come through gathering in groups and nurturing and healing. And Jupiter in Cancer is about motherhood itself and her children. When we look at Gaia, she is Jupiter in Cancer. She blesses us with her gifts to us to sustain our lives. And we as mothers protect our children. I could feel my children around me, protecting me as I do my best in my small way to protect others and to give others hope. Be fearless. Horses are fearless. They give our hearts. Did you know that the horse, the aura of the horse's heart is 9 times bigger than ours? That's why people feel so happy around horses. It's why women are drawn to horses, because they can feel that mothering heart. I'll end there. I have another video I want to do where I want to talk about a visitation I had, but I'll save it for another day. Take care of yourselves. Stay strong. Know that you are more than this. You're more than what we're facing right now. And if we come together and support each other, we'll get through this. God be with you. Let's hold in our hearts mercy. Mercy for all of life. Thank you.